Hello my grade 7 students! Welcome to our Music 7 of Quarter 2 lesson. Musical characteristics of representative selections of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and of the Visayas. And our most essential learning competencies are: Number 1. Describes the musical characteristics of representative selections of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and of the Visayas after listening. Number 2. Explains the distinguishing characteristics of representative music from Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and of the Visayan relation to its culture and geography. Number 3. Identifies the musical instruments and other sound sources from Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and of the Visayas. Number 4. Discovers ways of producing sounds on a variety of sources similar to instruments being studied. Number 5. Improvises simple rhythmic melodic accompaniments to selected music from the Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and of the Visayas. Number 6. Performs music from Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and of the Visayas with accompaniment. Evaluates music and music performances using rubrics on musical elements and style. And so now, before we proceed to our lesson for today, do you still remember our first quarter music lesson? Yes, it's all about the musical characteristics of representative music selections from the lowlands of Luzon. And can you still remember the different folk songs from the lowlands of Luzon? Yes, we have some examples like Bahay Kubo, Liron-Liron Sinta, Atin Kupong Singsing, Manang Biday, Sit Sirit Sit, and many more. And so let's proceed with our lesson for today. Music is everywhere and always be part of our lives. So now class, let us learn and listen and discover the world of music. So now, let's review our elements of music.
For example, this is a low pitch, while this one is a high pitch. The second element of music is melody. It is a succession of high and low sounds. It may also be described as the combination of pitch and rhythm. It is the most remembered element in a song. In relation to a song, the melody is what the soloist always sings. For example, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and this is the melody of it. A melody can be described in two ways. The first one is conjunct. A conjunct melody is easy to play or sing because the notes are near each other, thus resulting to a smooth performance. For example, Lo, 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 lo. second one is disjunct. It is difficult to perform a disjunct melody because it is mostly disjointed or jumpy. For example, lo, 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 lo. The next element of music is rhythm. Rhythm is a pattern of sounds and silence with combinations of long and short sounds. Rhythm is the element of time in music. Here is an example of rhythm. A lot of people are confused with the difference between beat and rhythm. Most of them thought that beat and rhythm are the same. But what is the difference between the two? Let's find that out. Beat is a steady and regular pulse we hear in music. One good example of this one is your heartbeat. Can you feel your heartbeat right now? And tell me how you feel. So here is an example of beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How steady that pattern is? Rhythm is the actual flow of music through time. It is a combination of sounds and silences or short and long sounds. For example, now for our next element, we have tempo. Tempo indicates how fast or slow a piece is to be performed. Tempo markings are important for us to know how fast or slow we are going to perform a particular song. Here are some examples. Largo, very slow. Adagio, slow. Andante, walking pace. Moderato, moderately. Allegro, fast. Presto, very fast. Prestissimo, very, very fast. And vivace, very fast and lively. Now, these tempo markings are just some of the many tempo markings we have in music. Now, this image will help you identify which tempo marking is faster and which one is slower. Another element of music that we have is harmony. Now, harmony supports a melody and is a combination of two or more musical notes sounding together. Harmony can also be heard in chords. Now, let me play to you some examples of those chords. Let's start with the C major. D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and going back to C major. Harmony can also be described in two different ways. Now, the first one is what we call dissonance. Dissonance are harsh sounding combination of musical notes or sounds. For example, and the other one is consonance. Now, these consonances are a smooth sounding combination of musical notes or sounds. For example, now let's go to texture. Texture refers to the number of layers used in a composition. Now, it may also refer to the individual instruments you hear in a particular song. For example, you hear a guitar, a violin, a piano, and a voice or a singer. Another important thing that you need to remember about texture is that it consists of three different types. We have monophonic texture, polyphonic texture, and homophonic texture. Now, let's try to identify the differences among the three. Let's start first with monophonic texture. It uses only one melodic line, therefore there is no accompaniment or harmony. You will only hear a soloist singing in a cappella without accompaniment. The next type of texture is homophonic texture. It has two or more notes sounding at the same time. It can be performed with a soloist or with an accompaniment. Now for our example, we have here a soloist and a pianist performing at the same time. Now another example is a choir or a chorale, wherein a soprano, an alto, a tenor, and a bass is singing at the same time. And for our last texture, we have polyphonic. It has two or more independent melodies performed alternately. Now the most common example of this one is canon and fugue, where the melodic lines are being performed alternately, repeatedly. Now in polyphonic texture, we have the soprano, the alto, the tenor, and the bass singing one after the other or alternately. Are you sleeping? 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 Morning bells are ringing. The morning bells are ringing. Ding dong ding. Ding dong ding. Now let's go to the next element of music, which is dynamics. Dynamic signifies the degree of loudness and softness in a piece of music. In order to identify how loud or soft you're going to perform a song, we have dynamic markings. But it is also written in Italian. But when you look at a musical score, you will only see abbreviations. For example, we have here pianissimo. And the abbreviation or the symbol for this one is double P, which means very soft or very quiet. For piano, we have P, which means soft. Mezzo piano, MP, is moderately soft or moderately quiet. Mezzo forte, MF, which means moderately loud. Forte or F, which means loud. And fortissimo, FF, meaning very loud. Now I want you to look at this image. Now you will see that the more F it has, the louder it becomes. And the more P it has, the softer the music must be performed. Aside from those symbols, we also have other dynamic markings such as crescendo and decrescendo. Now for crescendo, if you're going to look at the symbol or marking, you will see that you will start soft and then gradually increase in volume. On the other hand, for decrescendo, you will start loud and then suddenly decrease in volume. The next element, we have timbre. It is also described as the tone quality or color of a voice or an instrument. Because of timbre, you can easily identify that this is my voice. And at the same time, you can also identify that I'm playing on the piano.
Since timbre is the quality of sound or tone color, for instrument, we can identify if it is a metallic, wind, or string, or percussion. For the voice, it could be a nasal, throaty, or chest. For today's lesson, we will travel and discover of one region that you could find in Luzon. This region is known for its highland because of its land of mountain. Class, do you know what is the name of this region? Yes, and this is the Cordillera region. And let us analyze this picture. What is the picture all about? Yes, the picture is all about a sister who puts the baby into a sleep. And what do you think is the language used in the picture? Great! The language used in the picture is the Kalinga language. Now, what kind of song that the sister used? Yes, it's a lullaby. So what is a lullaby song? A lullaby song is a quiet, gentle song that's sung to send the child to sleep. And in this lesson, of course, we will study the different vocal and instrumental music of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and Visayas. For our activity 1, picture analysis. Number 1. What is the picture all about? Number 2. What do you think is the language used in the picture? Number 3. What kind of song does the sister use? Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. So now, let's start with the vocal music of Cordillera. Ibaliw Badiw is a poetic verses. It considered to be the signature from the specific cultures in Cordillera. It is the Ibaliw Badiw, which means people who live in the houses.
Ay agad na gini na mangkon na pa siya. Siya asik gayoy ama. Maestro kone ka nga.
Another vocal music is the Uwiwi of Kalinga. It is a children's song, a lullaby of Kalinga that relates a child's life. Dagdagay of Kalinga is a children's song, a song of Kalinga that foretells the baby's future. Another one is the Opya from Kalinga. It is also a children's song, and it is sung while cradling. Another one is the Kawayana of the Kalinga. It is also a children's song. It is an infancy-related song. The last one is the Hood Hood of Itugaw. It is a chanted epic poetry. And now let's talk about the vocal music of Mindoro. Marayaw is a spirit song used to communicate with spirits in rituals for healing the sick and protecting the community.
Ya ye yen, ya ye wan, ingkangay kabunsuan, nyawaag kasama, rateng waen kaalinan, rateng wakay te kontang.
Next is Bamoy Buyin. It is a legend song, a song about legends which means the fear of water. And the last one is the Ambahan. It is a chanted poem song composed of a 7-syllable line ending in rhymes.
Kan malaglag danawan no sumaghayatiman ga mga pangbaklawan.
For the vocal music in Palawan, Kulyal is a lyrical poem expressing love. Tultul is a chanted song, a kind of vocal music about epic heroes and usually chanted at night, ending at daybreak. Another vocal music is the Lantigi. It is a love song and a well-known love song of Tagbanuas and the people of Palawan.
Pailantigi, 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 pailantigi. Ibon-ibon tangkoko pailantigi, pailantigi, pailantigi.
So now let's proceed to the vocal music of Visayas. One example of the vocal music of Visayas is the Matud Nila. It is a love song and it expresses love against all odds. Another one is the Rosas Pandan. It is a courtship song, a song of joy and love. It tells about a pretty mountain maid who loves to dance the balitaw.
Bicaranga que rosa tu capultura.
The third one is the Kundansoy. It is a drinking song, a name of a boy who is being asked to drink laloy's tuba, a coconut wine. Another one is Ilo Nga Bata, a children's song. It is about a child whose parents are dead or have abandoned their child permanently in this world. Dandansoy is a farewell song. This song is about the singer leaving her man, whose name is Dandansoy, in order to go back to her hometown.
Dandansoy bayan ko ikaw, auli ako sa bayan, ugaling ko ikaw hidlaon, ang payaw imo lang tawon.
Ili-ili Tulog Anay is an Ilonggo lullaby. It is a folk song which is sung to put a baby to sleep.
Ili-ili tulog anay, wala diri imong nanay, kadto tiyenda bakal babay. Ili-ili tulog anay.
Another vocal music is Ako Kini Si Anggi, a work song. A work song that tells about a woman who works very hard as a dressmaker.
Ako kini si Anggi, ang opisyo ko'y panahi, adlaw ug gabii, kanunay ako nagtahi. Bisan nakog unsaon, walay kwartang matigom, kay ang pagpanahi ko igo ras panginabuhi. Ako kini si Anggi, ang opisyo ko'y panahi, adlaw ug gabi, kanunay ako nagtahi. Bisan nakog unsaon, walay kwartang matigom, kay ang pagpanahi ko igo ras panginabuhi. Ako kini si Anggi, ang opisyo ko'y panahi, adlaw ug gabi, kanunay ako nagtahi. Bisan nakog unsaon, walay kwartang matigom, kay ang pagpanahi ko igo ras panginabuhi.
And the last one is Sipilimon, a work song. A folk song that tells of a fisherman whose only catch is a single mud skipper. He then sells the fish, earning just enough to buy a coconut wine.
Si Pelimon, namasok sa kadagatan, nakakuha ng uwa, o isdang tagbasakan. Ibalik niya, sa merkadong uba, ang halipon
So now, hope you have an idea about the generous descriptions of the vocal music from the Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and of the Visayas. In the highlands of Luzon, music is related to different occasions such as life cycle events, occupational activities, and various rituals. Musical performances may be witnessed during planting and harvest times, peace pacts, courtship, marriage, and death rites. The vocal music of Cordillera is melismatic and free meter. The musical characteristics of Cordillera in relation to its geography and culture. As a recently defined administrative region, the Cordillera is composed of the 6 provinces of Apayao, Kalinga, Abra, Mountain Province, Ifugao, and Benguet, plus the charted city of Baguio. And here are the ethnic groups of Cordillera. And now, let's talk about the musical characteristics of Mindoro in relation to its geography and culture. It is the 7th largest island in the Philippines. It is located off the coast of Luzon, northeast of Palawan. The ethnic groups of the islands from north to south are Iraya, Alangan, Tadyawan, Taubuid, Cold, Batangan, by lowlanders on the west of the island, Buhid, and the Hanunuo. An additional group of the south coast is labeled Ratagnan. Mangyan is the collective name for the 8 indigenous groups living in Mindoro, each with its own name, language, and set of costume. Palawan is an amazing place because of the diversity of the culture there. More than 75 distinct cultural groups live in the area. Several indigenous ethno-linguistic groups are the Cagayanin, Tagbanwa, Palawano, and Taawat Bato. Most of these cultures are of Asian origin, but there are also African and Spanish cultures in the area. In addition to the number of people living in modern Palawan, there is also a highly interesting tribal culture living in the mountains of the area. This is called the Batak tribal culture. And now let's talk about the musical characteristics of Visayas in relation to its geography and culture. Visayan Island is also called Visayas or Visayas Island Group. The Visayan group consists of 7 large and 700 smaller islands clustered around the Visayas, Samar, and Camotes Seas. The 7 main islands are Bohol, Cebu, Leyte, Masbate, Negros, Panay, and Samar. These islands and their smaller neighbors make up the central group of the Philippine archipelago. They are the largest ethnic groups in the geographical division of the country. Some of their ethnic groups are Cebuanon, Hiligaynon, Garaya, Waray, and Bulanon. And so now, let's study about the similarities of the musical characteristics of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and of the Visayas. Letter A. Music is generally perceived as rich in Spanish colonial music tradition influence. Letter B. Music is very much part of life and living. Letter C. Music is mostly based on their culture and tradition. Letter D. Cultural groups have a big contribution for their music. And letter E. Music is reflective of the country's history as a melting pot of different cultures. And so now let's proceed to the instrumental characteristics of Cordillera.
Sama para makinukulayan ang pag-ibig ng lilig ang mundo. Nalilimutan ang mga problema at ang pangamba. Kapag kamay ko sa iyo ay nagkakapay na, para bang tumitigil ikot-ikot, kasi yan.
Musical instruments of Visayas. Guitar, laud,
Well, as far as I can tell, for someone that can't play it.
bajo de oro, and now we are done presenting our lesson, so let's proceed with our activity 2. Describe the vocal music in Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and Visayas. Use another sheet of paper. Vocal music of Mindoro. The vocal music of Palawan. And last is the vocal music of Visayas. Activity 3, Statement Completion. Instruction: complete the statement by writing the correct word in the blank. Write the word that corresponds to the correct answer found in the box. Use another sheet of paper. Number 1. Visayas music is influenced by. Number 2. What is the common folk song in Visayas region? Number 3. A folk song which is sung to put a baby to sleep. Number 4. This song is all about the singer leaving a boy in order to go back to her hometown. Number 5. A song and dance debate between a man and a woman in Visayas. Number 6. Give the genre of the Matud Nila folk song in Visayas that expresses love against all odds. Number 7. The theme of the Balitaw is a musical style about love. And Number 8. A song of joy and love which tells about a pretty mountain maid who loves to dance the Balitaw. Number 9. Give the genre of the folk song Ako Kini Si Anggi. Number 10. What influences of culture and traditions that the Spanish musicians introduced to our new styles of music? Activity 4. Go and explore. Use another sheet of paper. Instruction: research about the different vocal music in Visayas. List down 3 other examples of folk songs based on the different genre not mentioned above. Folk songs, give the genre, and give the descriptions. Activity 5. Supply me. Instruction: fill in the blanks with the correct answer to complete the statement. Use another sheet of paper. Activity 6. Listening activity. Instruction: listen to the vocal music in Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and the Visayas, such as the hudhud, ambahan, lantige, rosas pandan. Activity 7. Word classification. Instruction: group the following vocal forms according to its function. Activity 8. Performance. Poem making. Instruction: compose a 5-line poem about the problem we are experiencing nowadays through the use of ambahan style. Use your own dialect. Refer your answer in the given example as seen in the video. Follow the rubrics. Activity 9. Geography. Instruction. Compare and contrast the musical characteristics of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and Visayas in relation to their geography and culture. Limit your answer in 3 sentences, words only. Write their differences in the corresponding color and similarities at the center. Activity 10. Table classification. Instruction. Copy and complete the table by classifying the keywords according to their place of origin. Use another sheet of paper. Activity 11. Picture identification. Instruction. Identify the following instruments and their places of origin. This is the continuation of the Activity 11, Classification of Musical Instruments from Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and Visayas. Identify if it is idiophones, membranophones, aerophones, or chordophones. Activity 12, Performance, Instrumental Playing. Activity 12, Classification of Musical Instruments. Just follow the rubrics for instrumental playing. Instruction: create a rhythmic pattern, write the rhythmic pattern, and perform and record your improvised rhythmic pattern. Before doing this activity, you may review the elements of music, rhythm. And now, we are done with our Quarter 1 music lesson. Hope you learned a lot today, especially with our topic, the musical characteristics of Cordillera, Palawan, Mindoro, and Visayas, and how the elements of music and classification of musical instruments being applied. Bye-bye!